Welcome back. I'm Ted Jordan, and we've got a couple more questions from my book on getting certified in Linux. You can find my book here on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, and myself and Sandra Strohmeyer was the other co-author. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. For a free copy of the book, and at least be entered for a drawing for a free digital copy of the book, please like, subscribe, and comment by December 5th on this video. And I'll be drawing for that free copy of the digital book on December 5th. So we'll look at our first question. Which system keeps one NIC sleeping and awakens when another NIC fails? So we're going to pause for a minute, or you can pause this if you want to wait for the answer. Otherwise, the answer here is A, active passive. Is the network interface card that sleeps, and then when another network interface card fails, another one will awaken on an active passive system. Now let's kind of show you how this works. When you have multiple servers, and let's say this last one is set up to run only when the first one fails. So this one's up and running, this one's up and running, and this one's sitting idle. That's an active passive system. If this system fails, this one will spin up and become active. And so you've got one system residing there for failover. Active passive. Whereas an active system, we have several systems linked together, and they're all up and running. And when one fails, we'll go ahead and balance the load against the others. Active. And so the loads will, if one fails, the loads will slowly increase on the other systems. That's where you get your load balancing. When we can make it appear that these all have the same internet address, for example, or SCSI address, then they're all aggregated. That's load aggregation or link aggregation, where you make it appear that they're all the same IP address. For example, let's say 192.168.5.2. Alright, that's question number 37. Okay, so let's take a look at number 38. For security reasons, a Linux system should resolve host names using the DNS server before trying to resolve them using the /etc host file. Which file is configured to change the name resolver order? They're all under the /etc directory. You'll often hear this directory called etc by systems administrators. Resolv.conf, ifcfg-eth0, nsswitch.conf services. And pause the video if you want to wait for the answer. The answer for this one is C, nsswitch.conf. And so if we look at the nsswitch.conf file, let me use the VI editor. That'll make it. Let me turn off the numbers. Okay. Now use a J key to go down, and we'll go ahead and put the hashtag here. Files is equal to /etc hosts, and DNS is equal to /etc resolv.conf. And so when in this file, this line describes a search order. So when we look for host, are we going to look in etc host first or in resolv.conf first? So let's take a look at etc host. Let's get out of this. And if I do a more /etc host, or maybe edit that one as well. Generally, this file will contain hosts that are part of my LAN, part of my local area network. And so here I might have a system on my network that's 10.1.1.5, and that one's called pair, and I have a system called 10.1.1.6, and that one's called orange. And then that way, if I have several systems on my network, it's easier for me to remember those by name than by number. So I'll go ahead and put that list inside of /etc host. I'll hit escape, and I'll do a :WQ to write and quit. And now when I look at the contents of this file, if I have a system on my network called pair, I can now ping it by name instead of by number. All right. Now there's several systems that are on a DNS server, and those DNS servers are really ways to look up systems on a network. And so here I'm a user, and I want to access, let's say, the website yahoo.com. Well, yahoo.com has got an IP address. I don't know what it is. I'm going to make it up. We'll say that's the IP address. And again, we prefer to use names, but computers communicate by numbers, by bits, right? And so this turns out to be some type of bit-sized address. And so when I say, hey, look, I put in my web browser and I say I want to go to yahoo.com and hit enter, it has to get that information from somewhere. And so it's going to check my resolv.conf file for the DNS server. Google has some. One of them's at 8.8.8.8. And then the DNS server will go ahead and convert this name to a number. So you put in yahoo.com, you say, oh, I really want number 69.5.7.3. Let me find it for you. Takes you there, and then it reads this index.html file, or usually that's what it's called, but not all the time, but usually. And that's the home page of yahoo.com. That's the purpose of the resolv.conf file. And so if we take a look at ours, I can do vi, etc. resolv.conf. And here I can add another name server. And so that'll be the DNS server that I want the system to use as a backup. I've already got 192.168.1.1, and then I have a backup 8.8.8.8 that can be my backup DNS server. And that just gets handled with the name server name. So in nsswitch.conf, if we go back in this file, you basically state where you want it to search first. And we say, do we want to search in, do you want to look in etc/etc host first, or /etc resolv.conf? And then if we find, hey, we're doing really more work looking over DNS first than our local system, we can go ahead and change these around. All right, I did CW to change word inside of EI. And now it's going to search resolv.conf file first, and then etc host. So if I say ping pair, it's going to look in resolv.conf first, and then check my local systems. So that's it now. Okay, so there we can go ahead and ping across, and it's using the DNS server to get the IP address for yahoo.com. The services file does not exist. And so that is a dodge. There's a different services file right under etc. And this one contains a list of our well-known ports, and the port names and their numbers, the services and their numbers. For example, a common one that many people know about is FTP. FTP is port 21. Another common one is SSH, port 22. And an entire list is kept within this /etc services file. So, but under /etc sysconfig, that's a dodge. There's no services file there. So that's it for questions number 37 and 38. Remember, if you like and subscribe and comment on this video, December 5th, 2020, I'll be making a drawing, and the winner will receive a free digital copy of the book. Share this website with your friends, and we're looking to get to 1,000 subscriptions as soon as possible. So help us get to 1,000, and that helps us to get better content and more content on the channel, including content for the CISSP exam and Security Plus. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you at the next video.